You've probably heard you never get a second chance to make a first impression. In career planning and development, we aim to help support students understand what is acceptable to wear when encountering networking contacts for interviews, at internships, or student teaching, and what to wear once on the job. Understanding how to decipher a company's dress code can help lead to further success. Even what you wear to class on a daily basis projects an image of yourself and can shape how professors may perceive you. Remember, students often need to ask for professors for recommendations, for scholarships, jobs, and more. Any Google search for professional dress, business casual, or interview clothing will bring up thousands of images. It's no wonder why it can be confusing. We're here to help you understand some general guidelines that will help you present your best and most confident self. Another good piece of advice is to dress for the job you want, not for the job you have. Why? Because how people perceive you influences what they think of your work performance. During an internship, practicum, or teacher aide experience, think about how a potential employer might view you. It's a lot easier for an employer to picture you working long-term for them or giving you a reference for another employer when it's obvious you make it a normal habit of putting thought into your professional appearance. Once you have a job, being mindful of your professional appearance can help you make that next step or promotion. First impressions are so important. The majority of what is communicated to an employer is through your nonverbal communication. That's right, what you say only accounts for about 7% of the total package, while 90% is contributed to attire, eye contact, body language, and more. It's important to note that all things in an interview communicate, so it is important to be buttoned up in both what you are wearing, what you bring to the interview, and what you say. Let's have a look at how to make the first impression a good one. As far as interviews go, these statistics support the exact reasons why this is so important. In a matter of seconds, or even minutes, those in charge of hiring make up their minds about candidates. Dressing appropriately can only better the impression you make when you walk in the door. Appropriate professional interview attire can vary from industry to industry. What a teacher wears to work compared to what an accounting auditor wears is understandably different. It's important to research your field or industry to understand what is appropriate attire. For example, the job may allow you to wear jeans on a daily basis, but that doesn't mean you could wear jeans to the interview. Dressing one level or notch above what is normally acceptable everyday wear is a good rule to go by. It's definitely always better to overdress rather than to underdress. Websites like Glassdoor.com can provide helpful interview tips for larger organizations. Students can also ask advisors or others known in the field for guidance. But remember, industries vary, so it may be acceptable to not wear a traditional full suit to an interview. Even everyday workwear dress codes are becoming more relaxed, but it's important you learn what is acceptable. Now for some more specific points for a larger audience. Regardless of what position you are interviewing for, and whether or not you are a man or a woman, here are some good points to consider for overall success. Solid colored colors work best for your clothes and interviews. All items should be pressed, free of stains and wrinkles, and should fit nicely. Shoes should match the outfit, and hair should be clean and neat. It is best to remember to cover any tattoos and body piercings during an interview and refrain from smoking prior to showing up. Depending on your industry, your interview attire may call for business formal attire or business casual attire. Let's look at the difference. Of course, what you wear to the interview may vary by industry. Be sure to understand the company you're interviewing with prior to the interview. If the culture is business professional, be sure to wear a suit to the interview. For a business casual environment, you can instead opt for dress slacks, dress shoes, and a button-down shirt or conservative dress. And for a casual atmosphere, It is important to still look polished and professional, but here you can opt for a long-sleeve button-down shirt and nice khaki pants with dress shoes, or a work dress, pants, or skirt with a collared shirt. Casual interviews will be more common for part-time jobs and many internships. Note the differences for men and women for a business casual interview versus a business formal interview. Business casual is displayed for both men and women on the left side of each photo, while business formal is displayed on each right. A business casual interview may be appropriate for industries such as IT, startups, teaching, entry-level government, non-management engineering and architecture, healthcare and research, social media, advertising, and retail. A business formal interview may be appropriate for industries such as healthcare management and sales, hospital administration, accounting, banking, financial services, and pharmaceutical sales. For more specifics, we'll look at men first. Men should choose a white or light-colored button-down shirt. Ties, if worn, should be kept conservative in color and pattern. A nice leather belt to match the shoes will complete the outfit. If you have facial hair, it is best to keep it trimmed and to a minimum depending on the industry. Some of the don'ts include untidy facial hair, busy patterns, and no socks worn. For women, if wearing a skirt, it should be knee-length when standing. Full pants are acceptable. Blouses should have a very modest neckline, no loud colors. Flat or moderate heels. Closed-toed for business formal. Open-toed may work for business casual. Makeup should be kept light. Modest manicures work best. Subtle and conservative jewelry works best. Avoid anything that jingles or is clunky and distracting. Remember, always lean towards overdressing rather than underdressing during the interview process. As mentioned before, employers make quick decisions based off of a lot more factors than just your answers. Go in putting your best foot forward. Okay, so you've been through the interviews, but now let's touch on what is acceptable to wear on the job. Attire on the job can vary widely by industry and dress code. As we stated about interviews, it helps to understand the workplace culture and environment. Consider consulting a handbook, your supervisor, or the HR department guidelines, as well as observing how others are dressing on the job. It's okay to observe how others dress on the job, but ultimately you should follow what your boss and the handbook states. In general, regardless of your workplace, it's likely you should avoid the following on the job. Athletic clothes, spaghetti straps, tank tops, halter tops, flip-flops, clogs, rubber-soled sandals, hats, torn or frayed clothing, visible undergarments, distracting, tight, revealing, or low-cut clothing, unprofessional hairstyles or colors, excessive jewelry or use of fragrances. It's important to note that it's generally recommended to cover visible tattoos and to not let them show until you have verified it is acceptable for them to be seen. Even then, your workplace may have rules about what types of tattoos are appropriate. A similar approach with body piercing is recommended. Let's look at some specific examples of what to wear on the job for business professional, business casual, and casual. First, let's look at the business professional world for on-the-job business professional environments. Conservative suits are the norm for men. Consider neutral colors and minimal patterns. In some instances, lighter colored dress pants with a sports jacket may be acceptable. Ties should be modest in color and pattern choice. Wear collared button-up shirts using fairly conservative colors. Shoes can be Oxfords or loafers in neutral colors. For women, a suit in neutral colors, either pants or a skirt, is acceptable. Collared buttons, shirts, and solid colors to complement the outfit work best. Shoes should be neutral in color and closed-toed. Skirts should be no more than 2 finger widths above the knee when sitting. Check with your workplace regarding rules about hosiery. In the business casual world, things are a bit different. In this type of work environment, men can wear any collared button-up shirt with conservative patterns being acceptable. Ties are optional. Sweaters or pullovers on top of a collared shirt, along with dress slacks, is a strong match. Shoes should be comfortable, yet professional, keeping to either loafers or dress shoes. Here, women can wear business separates, like a skirt or dress pants with a sweater or cardigan, for instance. Blouses may be colored but should still maintain a modest neckline. Bigger jewelry is acceptable here, just ensure it does not distract. Shoes such as flats, loafers, and pumps are still acceptable. However, you should still avoid open-toed shoes. Casual work environments can be tricky. Remember, this is still a job and professionalism should still be maintained. Men in a casual work environment can wear casual slacks or pants. However, jeans should still be avoided unless clearly stated as acceptable. Crew neck pullovers and sweaters or collared polo shirts is the norm. Clean shoes, loafers, and potentially even sneakers are suitable. If there is ever a question, err on the side of professionalism until you can confirm what is allowed. Women in a casual work atmosphere can wear well-fitted blouses. These should still remain modest though. Skirts or slacks in casual fabrics, such as cotton, is usually permissible. Skirts should still be knee-length, and open-toed shoes are allowed. Shoes that may be considered too casual should still be avoided though. Casual accessories such as scarves would be considered acceptable. It can take time to build up your wardrobe. The last thing you want to be doing is frantically shopping for appropriate clothing 2 days before an interview or before a job begins. Here's some tips for building your professional closet. Take inventory of usable pieces you already own. Classic quality last and stay in fashion longer, so invest in quality staples and shoes. Shop smart. Look for sales. Ask for gift cards from family for your birthday. Buy versatile pieces. Ask for help from the salesperson. And lastly, get items tailored if needed. And here are our final thoughts for professional attire in the workplace. Avoid going out and buying an entire wardrobe before starting the job. Learn what is acceptable first. Don't let your portfolio, purse, or briefcase ruin your image. Avoid clunky or distracting purses, unprofessional briefcases, and portfolios. Typically, you should minimize these types of accessories brought to an interview. Always err on the side of caution. If you're questioning if a clothing item should be okay, you probably shouldn't buy it or wear it. Remember, it's better to overdress rather than underdress. Feel free to contact our office with questions and follow Drury Career on Pinterest to see more examples of professional dressing.